Hi, today is the video as promised of the front bumper. What I will do is explain on how I did things, why I did certain things, and deconstruct it for you kind of in a way to explain how it was built. So what I'll start with is basically talk about clearance. There's three factors here, 3 or 4 factors that affected clearance. Obviously the front grille, I had to be able to slide it in there and be able to remove the front grille with the lights bumper on. I didn't want to affect my original bumper. The wheel radius, as they turn, I didn't want the lights to interfere with that. And the biggest thing was obviously the loader as it come down. Now I will show you quickly as I bring down the loader. You'll see that the clearance when I get close to the light is very getting to be narrow. As you can see here, very low clearance that's going to be left here on either side, and as the loader is obviously put all the way down, it gets even closer. Like, I mean, I'm within like a ½ inch or even less here, and as you can see, the loader still has a little bit. If I put down pressure, I could go even further down. Now this side was okay for clearance with the loader stabilizer, whatever you want to call them, when you take the loader off, these things. But on the other side, I explained that kind of briefly in the other video, I had to make myself another pin. This pin is fabricated myself. I just bolted on to basically move the stabilizer from this side to this side, because when it was with the bent and everything, when it was on this side, it was touching this. Now when I built the front light bumper originally, right now as you can see, if I turn the light on, they're obstructed, but mainly when I use these is when I actually use the loader and I want to be able to see on the side. And I have now my bar LED light that help forward. I could expand on this. I planned for it, that I could put light shining towards the back kind of deal on the side too, but at this point I don't see why I would need those. So what I'll do to the magic of video is I will shut this down for a second, lift my loader back up, unscrew the bolts, and then I will show you how I remove the bumper. So it'll be coming up very shortly. Okay, I am back. I will remove the bumper by loosening up the 6 bolt at the bottom there that you see, and I will take it off, and again I will stop and deconstruct it a little bit more for you so you have an idea how I build this thing. Just hang on a second. These 4 bolts were loosened up prior for me to shut down the video. The last 2 I had to kind of keep on here a little tighter to make sure that the bumper doesn't move too much. So basically what I do is because I have a lip in the back of it, I can kind of hold it tight against here. And so what I do is I grab it and I take the bolts, and I can lift it up. The clearance is there for me to lift it straight up from there. I will set it down. As you can see, I didn't even have to move this to do that. But the bumper's clearance is made so that this can be removed with the bumper on, which allows me to remove obviously the side panels. So at this point, I will show you a little bit more about the bumper itself, lights bumper. The way I wired it, I try to keep it clean. Let me bring this into the light. Sorry about that. But I tried to keep it as clean as I could as far as everything goes, I guess. The lighting, the wiring, everything is as clean as I could keep it, tidy. I use quick attach, again, Princess Auto. For the finish here, I could have used regular bolts, but I use those, actually I don't even know what you call them, but the finer thread one. They look a little sharper for final finish. Now I made the bumper so that I have those top plate that I can access the inside to get to my wiring if I need to. Again, that back side could eventually have a guard like I did at the front. These are more like a guard, go around the light to protect it from the side or the top. Any directed obviously is going to bust the light, but it's me driving it that shouldn't worry about that. I'm not going to put the tractor in a situation that I could just bang into the lights, hopefully. So both side is made same. So when I did this, obviously anybody that has a B2620, you have this front plate, or that's part of the frame, that's already had 6 holes. So what I did is I designed, I measured everything with pretty precisely. I did a SketchUp plate that I could transfer onto a 1-inch scale paper to get me an exact location of these holes. And what I did is I went and bought a 1/4-inch steel plate. I think this one is 8x8. And I brought my paper with me at the metal supermarket, and I gave them the paper and I told them to put it flush with the bottom and punch the hole with their machine over there instead of me drilling it all. And it was dead on. So all I did is superimpose it to this plate. Now this bumper was made in several stages. I had the main plate, which I put a back plate to it with the angles to miss the original bumper. They were cut on an angle. These little arms were sort of added afterwards. What you don't see under this plate, which is a reinforcing plate, I have just a 1-inch by probably 8 or 9-inch. You could see it here on, it ends there and it goes around, and that allowed me to tack it on this side and onto the box. These were built separately. I built these triangular box separately. So what I did is I tacked this bar across, this 1-inch bar. I tacked it to the box here and I tacked it to my main front piece, and then I bend them to fit in there and to get all my clearance. I low down the loader. I made sure that I didn't touch with the wheels by turning them. Height-wise, everything I had to think about my my attachment to, which my mower deck. There's a bar up front here that ties in to lift the mower deck from the ground. I wanted to make sure that didn't interfere with the bottom of the bumper. All that had to be taken in consideration when I did this. So there was a little bit of trial and error as I was building this thing. But the overall look, I think, is okay. I like to give it a bit of a mean look to it. The finish, should talk maybe a little bit about the paint. I primed it, grind it, primed it. And what I did with the paint is, when I first started this whole process, all I wanted was extra light. So my dealer had suggested, factory brackets that ties in to the side of the ROPS with U-bolt brackets, and they tie in kind of like this, on the side. Hang on a second, more, yeah. So like this. So they're like little wings that you can tie to the, and I didn't like that. So I bought two of them at the beginning thinking, well, maybe that's the easiest way to go. One of them was actually this one, which has the bigger hole, was directly from Kubota, pre-painted gray. This one was, I guess my dealership has a company that make these brackets for them, and they were only prime red. So what I did is I took this one to Home Depot, and they scanned it, and I got a quart of gray paint from Home Depot, which the code is there. Anybody wants the code, I can make a cleaner picture of that and send it. But the grays are very, very similar. I can hardly decipher from the gray on my brackets to the gray on the Kubota. There's a tiny little bit of difference, but I think it's because of the finish. The finish on the Kubota tractor is obviously a better finish than what I could paint. I actually brush paint these things. I didn't spray them, I brush painted them, which gave them a little bit more of a gritty finish. But I mean, the grays are very, very similar, as if you look at my bracket again, the big bracket versus the other grays on the tractor, or even the ROPS box. It's very close. I'd say the biggest difference is the finish. I don't have a glossy finish like the tractor do have. So basically the bumper is that, and it's got the quick attach, which when I wired it, I brought the wire directly under the tractor for any B2620. You can see that little V area there. The wire goes right through there and comes out here on the side, and I had tied everything up, and then I just shot it into my control panel, which allows me now to control these from the control panel and my side light switch. Nothing is wired through the internal system of the tractor. That was the big reason why I did this too. My command center or control panel or whatever switch box was designed in the intention that I did not want to touch the internal system of the Kubota. I have two lead from the battery, positive and a negative that goes to my box, and then I have a relay in there that redistribute everything to a fuse box that goes to the switches that goes to all of my newly constructed mods. So that way it's a totally independent system. It has fuses, everything. I cannot damage the tractor. Worst can happen, I can short the battery maybe. That's it. Other than that, my next video I will touch on my bucket snow tube, I call, or I don't really have a name for it, and my bucket hooks that I built, which was one of the very first thing I actually built. So my next short video will be on that. Thank you for now.